Welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a lot for subscribing to my channel and then following me. If you are new to my channel, you are very welcome. And if you have not subscribed already, I would appreciate if you would do that. So guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut more and trendy necklines, monostraps to be precise. And there are some questions that I actually got from my previous monostrap videos. That's my neckline videos. Most people were actually asking, if you want to do this on a bustier, how do you actually do them? So today I'm going to be showing you that it is really simple and easy to get this monostraps done on any pattern of the chest, whether flat, whether a bustier. So I'm just going to do a quick explanation because I'm making quick explanation before I continue. So your bustier pattern, just assume that you are making use of, you are doing this monostraps on bustier. So you see, after joining like this, you'll be able to achieve any neckline of your choice on it. However you want to draft in your neckline, you'll be able to do this. So that is why I just decided to show you. And then on your tube and pattern also, once you have joined your tube on the side, you'll be able to achieve any neckline of your choice. Whether if you are, even if you are doing an illusion neckline, just join it first without putting a neckline, and then you'll be able to do that. So that's that. So today I'm going to be showing you how to draft and the monostrap and patterns on bustiers. So that's just that. So I'm just going to keep it on the side, but I'm still going to make use of my paper. Okay, so before I continue, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate if you would do that. And then if you want to register for my online classes, so you could see the number is scrolling along the screen. So you could contact me with the number on WhatsApp, or I will still drop the number in the description box, so you can just pick up the number and then send me a message, and then I'll give you the details of how to do this. So the first neckline we're going to be dealing with this today is the dip and tear and neckline. So this one is like, I've done something like this before, but this is a different pattern of the teardrop. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So it's really simple and easy. So you have your pattern laid out. So after joining, like I said, so here's what you are going to do for this pattern of neckline. Okay, so you are going to use for the top. So find out that the top part of the neckline is actually like a high, very high neckline. So I'm just going to measure I'm going to measure 2.5 inches because it is very high and tight. So I'm going to measure like 2.5 inches. That's for normal size person, but somebody that is a plus size, you would make use of about 3 inches. And then the depth that I'm going to use for this neckline, I'm going to make use of about 2 inches or 2.5 inches. So this is my 2.5 inches and then 2 inches. So I'm just going to make a tiny curve, just like a small round neckline here. So that is what is going to be on top. So from this point now, we're going to cut it out. So I'm just going to cut it out like this, but I'm still just going to leave it, so we'll use it as reference as we walk along. So I'm going to open it up like this. So I'm going to open it up like this. So I'm just trying to cut it so you understand. Okay, so I think it's better this way, so you'll be able to see it and understand. So I'm going to, so you open it up like this, and then you are going to decide how deep you want your tear to be. So here you're just going to bring your creative ability to work. So you are going to measure. So the shoulder, this is my full and shoulder measurement. You are going to determine how close you want it to be from your shoulder line point. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to leave about 2 inches on the shoulder part. You understand that? So you could do 2.5, it will still be okay. So I'm just going to mark it like this, and then from this point like this, I'm going to determine how wide I want it to be, because you could decide to tilt it towards wherever you want to. So I'm going to come to my armhole point. So this is my armhole, this is the down part of my armhole of 8 inches. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mark this point. So from this point to where I'm going to be doing on the right hand side, I'm going to measure about 2 inches or 2.5 inches on this point. So from this point I'm just going to use dotted lines just to make it easy. So this, you can actually practice it on a piece of paper before you continue. So I'm just going to take it like this. So once I get to about before my armhole, about 1.5 inches before my armhole, I'm going to stop it here, and then I'm going to determine how deep I actually want it to be. So this is your own choice. You can determine how deep you want it to be. So for this point now, I can decide to use about 4 inches or 5 inches. You understand? So for this point now, I'm making use of about 4.5 inches. So I'm just going to mark it up to this point like this. So you see what I'm doing? Like I said, just bring your creative ability to work, and then just use dotted lines. Use dotted lines for you to be able to really achieve it. And then for this center, you can decide to measure how wide. So this part is 4 inches. So 4 inches. And then as I get towards the neckline, I'm just going to reduce my hand. You understand? I'll reduce it. So at the end of the day, when it gets to this point, it's going to be about 1 inch. So make it 1 inch. So by the time you sew it, it will be like ½ inch. So this here is what we have. So I'm going to use my pattern curve to curve it out nicely. So you see what we have. You see that what we have on the picture. You see that what we have on the picture, that is what we have here. So at the end of the day, so this top neckline, so I'm going to take it off now. So you are just going to have your perfect small round neckline. So when you finish stitching, so you see this point is going to be closed like this, and then this side is going to be like this. So if it is a bustier, you know you have already joined from top to down, so you now be able to put your neckline and it will work perfectly well for you. So we're going to keep this now. We're going to do the second one. Okay, so the next neckline I'm going to do now, a monostrap neckline I'm going to do is a single strapped neckline. So that's a single strap mono. That's what I'm going to do. So this one also, you're just still going to bring your creativity into it. So it's really simple and easy to achieve. So, and this is your pattern again. So all you are going to do, you find that from the picture above, you find that it has a shoulder on one side, and one side is like half tube. So what you are going to do, the first thing you are going to do, you are just going to measure out your regular neckline pattern for this. So what you are going to do, I'm going to make use of my 3.5 inches width. So this is like my 3.5 inches width, and then I'm going to take the depth. So you are going to determine how deep you actually want it to be on your cleavage, how deep you want it to be. So for this part, I'm going to make use of about 7 inches. So this is like my 7 inches, and then you find that that neckline is like, the down part is like a sweetheart. You understand? It's like a V on the inside. That's on the cleavage part. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use dotted lines to explain it to you, just to make it easy. So this part is like a little bit straight. You understand? This part is like a little bit straight, and then when it got to this part, you are just going to bend it like this. It's still almost like a pear and neckline. You understand? It's still almost like a sweetheart. It's almost like a pear. So we're just going to, here's what you're going to do. You're just going to make this side straight like this, and then this side curve. It's like a pear neckline, but not very curved. No pear. This side will be very curved, but this one is not very curved. So that's how we're going to do it. So the measurement, you're just going to measure the length, as in the width. I'm using 3.5, and then the depth, how deep you want it to be. That one you are going to determine that by yourself. So for this, I'm making use of 7 inches. So I'm going to mark once I get to about 5 inches. That's when I will now start, and that's when I will now make my curve to meet the 7 inches line that I made. So I'm going to mark them now. So this part like this, I'm just going to like curve it. So I'm trying to curve it, so I'm not going to miss it. So it's, you see, it's curved, it's not back flipped. It's not back flipped, it's like curved like this. It's like deep inside, and then this side is straight. So this side is straight. So necklines, I will advise you always try them out on paper before you cut on your actual fabric. So we're going to cut it out now like this. So you see what we have, that we actually have the neckline, but the only part, you know, I used 3.5, so mine is not very wide. So if you want it wider, you increase it. If you want it deeper, coming down to the down part of your cleavage, you make it deeper. So the next thing we're going to do now, we're going to cut out on one part from this and down part of the neckline. That's where the depth, that was why I said use 5 inches. So you can decide if you want it deeper, you can decide to make it like 6 inches, and then before you start and creating the curve to the depth of your neckline. So from this point now, we're going to cut it out into the armhole. So this is just like your 5 inches regular off shoulder and cut, you understand? So that's just what you are going to do. You're just going to cut it out. You see, it's really simple and easy. So once you cut it out like that, it's already off. So the next thing you are going to create the mono. That's the strap that you are going to use. We are going to create a strap now from this point. This one, you are just going to bring your creativity from this and armhole point of the straight side. You are going to create it, let it come into the neckline of this point, and then we are going to create another small strap that we are going to use as the sleeve, you understand? So I'm just going to do that now. It's really simple. So I'm just going to get my pattern and paper. So you are going to measure. So you are going to put your tape like this, and then you will measure to the neckline point. Add allowance, at least 2 or 3 inches allowance to it, so you will not run into any problem. So in case when you wear it, if it is tight, you can lose it and open it up, or if it is too slack, you can still push it in, you understand? So I'm just going to use my own measurement here to measure out the strap. So the strap, you can decide to cut it on bias form. So after cutting your strap, here's what you are going to do. You are just going to take it when sewing. You are going to take it, and then you are going to place it like this from this armhole to enter into your armhole, into the shoulder part of your armhole, and then it comes out on the neckline point. So this is just like excess, which I'm going to cut off. So at the end of the day, so you place it like this on the neckline, and then let it come, that's from the shoulder point like this, and then into the neckline. So then for the small strap that was used as armhole, so this is just like your regular off shoulder and sleeve. So what you are going to do, you'll use your round armhole measurement to cut out a small sleeve. This is just like a small sleeve, so depends on your measurement. So if you watch most of my videos, you already know how to fix and search and sleeve. Looks exactly like the picture that you have up there. So this is how you achieve and this second one. So we're done with the second one. So the next pattern we're going to do is the ones that we're going to be using and tube. So this, like I said, the same thing with tube pattern. So after joining, so this one, like I said, I'm going to call it like a double and mono and strap. So it's really beautiful and trendy. So what you are going to do in cutting this, so this, we already have our tube and pattern laid out. So what you are going to consider, you are going to work on for this and mono, you are going to work with the dart line. So that is what will help you to achieve and the strap, how you are going to place the strap. So for this strap, I would advise you to make use of like a stretchy and fabric. So make use of fabric like a scuba or a lycra, so it will help a lot. So this allowance point, like you are going to put your tape like this, and then you are going to pass it like this across your armhole. So this is the armhole, across your armhole like this. You pass it across your armhole, and then we are going to come to the back So you are going to determine where, if you want it to come, if you just want it to stop here, you understand, you can decide for it to just stop. So this is your tube pattern. You can decide for it to just stop here, and then you are going to have this like this, just like a strap here, or you can decide to bring it down. So I think I would advise for it to just stop. That's after achieving the sleeve, let it just stop on like your under bust line. So this is the one that is forming the sleeve on the side like this. So I just want you to understand. So you're just going to cut it. So let it stop here. You can decide to bring it down, but the best thing is for it to stop here. It will be better. So you're just going to, with that, so once you measure like that, you know how much and scuba or fabric you are going to cut out. All you are going to do, you can add about 2 or 3 inches allowance, so that after fixing, if you're having any issue, you'll be able to adjust it. So what I actually have here is 22 inches. So I'm going to cut out my own strap now of about 22 inches. I'll add allowance to it. So, and you are going to determine how wide you want it to be. So you can decide to measure that. You can decide to use straps of about 5 inches. So what I'm using for this tutorial is actually 4 inches. That's on fold, because you are going to actually cut and turn. So here is what we're going to do. Like I said, so you are just going to take this part like this, and then you are going to, in fixing it, you are just going to fix it, like let it pass. So you see the neck line point, let it pass through this point like this, and then it comes. So I'm going to use my stapler to do that, so it will be easy for you to understand. So once you are fixing, you're just going to fix it under like this, under your half cut. You fix it under your half cut. So it's going to come like this, and then it comes like this, and then follows through the shoulder part. So you see it like this, follows through the shoulder part, and then it comes on the back and neckline point. So this was what I was saying. Because of that measurement, because you are going to use that extra measurement, so that is what will help on this part, you understand, to relax more. So that's why you have to measure it. Make sure you measure it across, and let it pass through the sleeve line as it's going to be, as it is on the picture. You measure along the line like that. So most times once you do do all those kind of measurements, you usually don't have problems. So you measure it along that sleeve line like that, and then you will be able to get the exact amount of fabric that you are going to cut to do this, to do your strap. So like I said, so let it end here. So you see what we have now at the end of the day. It's really looking good. So this is the back. So you see the way the back, this is how the back is going to look like now. So it comes to the shoulder point here and it stops, and then the front one comes like this, and then it falls out from this part. So because it is stretchy, so once you put it on, you'll be able to stretch it out properly. And then in fixing it, so you can decide to, you sew it and turn it, and then you are going to sew it on top of this point like this. When fixing it to the dress, you are going to sew it, you are going to match it. You use a matching thread and then match it along just from the chest side to the back. So for the other and singular and strap on it, the same thing you are going to do. So you are just going to still measure from this point now. For that one, you are going to measure from this and neckline point to the back also. So I'm just going to show you how to measure that also. So you are going to measure like this across. So this, you know, this part, this is just like your shoulder, that's like the second shoulder. So you are going to measure it across like this. and then let it come to the back of this point also, just the way we measured the first one. So that's how you are going to measure, and then you get the amount of strap that you are going to make use of. So I'm going to cut mine out now. And then you are going to fix it in like this from the neckline point, and then it goes into the back of your dress. So you see what we have now. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is the fourth and mono strap. So for the fourth one, this is just like a triple and strap mono that has a turtled neck or a halter neck or a round collar. Yeah, I think a round collar is better. So this is the back of the pattern, so I had to make the back so you are able to understand it. So this is the front, and then these are my dart lines. So what you are going to do, you are going to work with the back. So for the back, you are just going to measure out the neckline for the back. You are going to use your regular neckline measurement for the back neckline, and then you are going to cut it out. So after cutting it out for the back pattern, you are going to have something like this, and then this is the front of our pattern. So you are going to measure and the length. So you know that most tubes, so you are going to determine where you are going to cut it from. That's the front when working on this. So you are just going to make a long straps, and those long straps you are going to place them along the dart lines. So you are going to determine how wide you actually want them to be. So you place them along the dart line, entering into the neckline point. So this is the neckline point. You are going to place them like this. So to enter into the neckline point, so I'm just trying to place it in order for you to see. So to enter into the neckline point like this, and then you are going to place the second one on this side also. So this extra that you have here on the back armhole, so after stitching, so this part, once you stitch it comes and then forms once you stitch, so your armhole, you are just going to basically just trim it. You trim it into, and you are just going to trim it to your strap and measurement. And then for the center one, for the neckline, you are going to place it like this to the exact point where your back neckline is. You are going to place it to where your back neckline is, and then you are going to cut. And then you are going to, before you are going to create your strap, that's your turtled neck, that's your collar that you are going to use. You are going to create your collar for the neck like this. So the collar is going to run through. So if you watch most of my videos, you know how to create the collar. So you're just going to create like a small and round strap like this of neckline, and then you're going to place it. You are going to cut it. In cutting it, you are just going to use your basic measurement of 3 inches. That's the 3 inches or the 3.5, depends on the neckline and measurement that you are making use of. You are going to curve it like that, curve it out, and then you are going to create it like this. So you are just going to fix it. So you are just going to connect it to round. You are not going to connect. You are just going to create this strap like this, and then connect it to round, from the round to the back part. So your zipper is going to have an opening at the back, because you are going to add a zipper to this dress. So the opening is going to be on the back. So that's just basically how you achieve this mono strap. I know that I have really talked a lot on this video.